Before you retire, before you submit the paperwork, before you tell your coworkers goodbye, before you start dreaming about sleeping in, traveling more, or finally doing all the things you've been putting off, there's something you need to hear. Because retirement is one of the biggest transitions of your entire life. And yet, most people spend more time planning a 2-week vacation than they spend preparing for retirement. Think about that. A vacation lasts a few days. Retirement could last 20 years, 30 years, maybe even longer. And what surprises many retirees isn't what they expected. It's what they never saw coming. The financial challenges, the emotional adjustments, the unexpected expenses, the changes in relationships, the questions nobody talks about. And later in this video, I'll share the retirement regret that countless Americans admit only after it's too late to change it. If you're retiring within the next few years, or even thinking about retirement, watch this first, because the decisions you make now could shape every year that follows. Let's begin. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking retirement is the finish line. For decades you've worked, you've followed routines, you've had schedules, responsibilities, deadlines. Then suddenly, one day, it all stops. Many people imagine retirement as permanent freedom, and in many ways it is. But freedom comes with something else, responsibility. Because retirement isn't the end of your story. It's the beginning of a completely different chapter. Imagine spending 40 years climbing a mountain, then one day reaching the top. What happens next? Most people assume they'll automatically know. But many retirees discover something unexpected. Without a plan for life after work, freedom can start to feel confusing. That's why retirement planning isn't only about money. It's also about purpose. And we'll come back to that later because purpose may be more important than most people realize. Here's a myth that has cost countless people years of unnecessary stress. The myth is this: once I retire, my expenses will automatically drop. Sometimes they do, but often they don't. In fact, many retirees discover that retirement creates entirely new expenses. Travel, healthcare, home repairs, helping family members, hobbies, unexpected emergencies. Many Americans enter retirement expecting their spending to fall dramatically. Then reality arrives. And reality can be expensive. That's why one of the smartest things you can do before retiring is spend time understanding where your money actually goes today. Not where you think it goes. Where it actually goes. Because retirement is much easier when there are fewer surprises. Let's talk about something many people avoid discussing. Healthcare. Most Americans know healthcare costs money. What many don't realize is how quickly those costs can add up. Prescription medications, dental work, vision care, specialists, procedures, unexpected diagnoses. Healthcare isn't just a medical issue, it's a retirement issue. And here's the uncomfortable truth. The older we get, the more likely healthcare becomes a larger part of our budget. That's why people who retire successfully often do something simple. They prepare before they need help, not after. Because once a problem appears, your options often become more limited. And this leads directly to another issue that catches many retirees completely off guard. Many people worry about dying too soon. But financially, a much bigger challenge is living longer than expected. Think about how much life has changed. People are living longer. Medical care continues improving. Retirement today can last decades. That's wonderful news. But it creates a challenge. Your money must potentially last much longer than previous generations experienced. If you retire at 65 and live to 90, that's 25 years. 25 years. Imagine funding a 25-year vacation. That's essentially what retirement planning requires. The question isn't simply, can I retire? The question is, can my retirement plan survive for decades? Many people never ask that second question. And that's where problems begin. When you're working, debt is frustrating. When you're retired, debt can become frightening. Because working years often provide opportunities to increase income, retirement often provides fewer opportunities. That's why many financial experts encourage reducing debt before retirement whenever possible. Imagine entering retirement with no credit card balances, no personal loans, minimal financial obligations. How much freedom would that create? How much stress would disappear? Financial freedom isn't measured only by assets. It's also measured by obligations. The less you owe, the more flexibility you keep. And flexibility becomes incredibly valuable in retirement. Now let's discuss a topic that generates endless questions. Social Security. Many people think Social Security is simply about choosing when to claim benefits. But it's much more than that. It's about understanding how that decision fits into your larger retirement picture. Some people claim early. Others wait. Some regret their decision. Others are happy they waited. The key lesson isn't that one strategy fits everyone. The lesson is that retirement decisions work best when they're intentional. Not rushed, not emotional, not based on what a neighbor did, because retirement isn't a competition. It's a personal journey. And later I'll explain why one retirement decision often matters even more than Social Security itself. Here's something fascinating. Ask retirees what they expected to miss. Then ask what they actually miss. The answers are often different. Many expected to miss the paycheck, but that's not always what they talk about. Instead, they mention daily structure, purpose, social interaction, feeling needed, having a reason to get up in the morning. Work provided more than income. It provided identity, community, routine, meaning. And when those things disappear overnight, retirement can feel very different than expected. That's why successful retirement planning includes a life plan, not just a financial plan. It's a personal journey. And later I'll explain why one retirement decision often matters even more than Social Security itself. Here's something fascinating. Ask retirees what they expected to miss. Then ask what they actually miss. The answers are often different. Many expected to miss the paycheck, but that's not always what they talk about. Instead, they mention daily structure, purpose, social interaction, feeling needed, having a reason to get up in the morning. Work provided more than income. It provided identity, community, routine, meaning. And when those things disappear overnight, retirement can feel very different than expected. That's why successful retirement planning includes a life plan, not just a financial plan. Let's talk about something that rarely appears in retirement brochures. The retirement trap. And it has nothing to do with money. It has everything to do with time. For decades, you've probably said things like, when I retire, I'll finally travel. When I retire, I'll spend more time with family. When I retire, I'll learn new skills. When I retire, I'll enjoy life. Retirement becomes the destination where all future happiness is stored. But here's what surprises many retirees. After the excitement fades, they discover something unexpected. Too much free time can feel overwhelming. Nobody prepared them for that. Nobody explained that structure disappears. Schedules disappear. Deadlines disappear. Many retirees wake up months later wondering, now what? That's why if I were retiring soon, I'd create a purpose plan before my retirement date, not after. A purpose plan answers one question. What will make me excited to wake up each morning? Because retirement without purpose can feel empty no matter how much money you have. Most retirement planning focuses on numbers, savings, investments, income. But here's something many retirees discover. Family often impacts retirement more than finances. Children may need help. Grandchildren may need support. Parents may require caregiving. Unexpected responsibilities can appear overnight. And while helping family can be deeply rewarding, it can also create financial pressure. This is why boundaries matter. Many retirees enter retirement planning for one future. Then life creates a different one. The retirees who handle these changes best usually have flexibility built into their plans. Because retirement isn't lived on paper. It's lived in the real world, and the real world rarely follows perfect spreadsheets. Do you know what the most expensive word in retirement might be? Later. I'll start planning later. I'll review my finances later. I'll think about healthcare later. I'll update my documents later. Later feels harmless. Until years pass. One of the biggest advantages you have before retirement is time. Time allows adjustments. Time allows corrections. Time allows opportunities. Once retirement begins, some decisions become harder to change. That's why the best retirement planners aren't necessarily the smartest. One lesson becomes increasingly important in retirement. Depending on a single source of income creates vulnerability. Think about a table. If it has one leg, what happens? It falls. If it has four legs, it's stronger. Retirement income works similarly. Social Security may be one source. Savings may be another. Part-time work could be another. Investments may contribute as well. The goal isn't necessarily maximizing income. The goal is creating resilience. Because resilience creates confidence. And confidence creates peace of mind. Many retirees sleep better not because they have more money, but because they have more options. Earlier, I mentioned a retirement regret that countless Americans discover only after it's too late. Here it is. Many wish they had spent less time worrying and more time living. Think about that. After decades of hard work, after years of saving, after countless sacrifices, the regret often isn't financial. It's emotional. People remember experiences, relationships, adventures, conversations, moments, not account balances. This doesn't mean money isn't important. Of course it is. Money provides security. Money creates options. But money is a tool, not the destination. The destination is a meaningful life. And that's a distinction many people don't fully understand until later. If you're retiring within the next few years, here's what I'd do over the next 90 days. First, review every source of income. Know exactly where your money will come from. Second, estimate future expenses honestly, not optimistically. Honestly. Third, schedule important health appointments. Fourth, reduce unnecessary debt. Fifth, review insurance coverage. Sixth, update important legal documents. Seventh, create a retirement lifestyle plan. What will your days actually look like? Eighth, talk openly with family about expectations. Ninth, identify activities that give you purpose. 10th, write everything down, because clarity reduces anxiety, and retirement becomes much less intimidating when there's a plan. As we finish, I want you to remember something. Retirement isn't about escaping work. It's about moving toward a different kind of life. A life where your time becomes your own. A life where choices matter more than schedules. A life where freedom becomes possible. But freedom doesn't happen automatically. It requires preparation. It requires intention. And most importantly, it requires action. If you're retiring soon, don't focus only on the numbers. Focus on the life those numbers are meant to support. Think about your health. Think about your relationships. Think about your purpose. Think about what makes life meaningful. Because one day, retirement won't be a future goal. It will be your reality. And when that day comes, you'll want more than financial security. You'll want peace of mind. You'll want confidence. You'll want the freedom to enjoy the years you've worked so hard to reach. Retirement isn't about having the most money. It's about having enough freedom to live life on your terms. And the best time to prepare for that freedom is today. If you found this video helpful, subscribe for more retirement insights, social security guidance, and practical advice designed to help you retire with confidence. And tell me in the comments, what's your biggest concern about retirement right now? Because chances are, you're not the only one thinking about it. Until next time, take care of your future, because it's closer than you think.